Okay. Testing. Hey, all right. Oh, I forgot to test one last thing. Give me just a second. It's going to be just like that. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
Let's go. Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to
do something important?
Important.
Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Canema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look.
Indeed. Cool little car.
Someone has waxed it recently.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
What's it packing there?
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged.
Oh. What? Hey there, made that infernal whining sound.
You mean the coil noise? When variable current passes through wires that make up the coils on the electrical system on this machine, it causes vibration in the wires and the cores of the coils. When the frequency of the current in the coils falls within the audible range, the resulting vibration creates the whiny sound you mentioned.
Whiny.
What a binoclard.
What? What the hell is a binoclard?
Of course. Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Lingo it up.
I'm not either.
Well, maybe...
Let's go. What was I doing? I hate it when you forget what you were doing. That's what tasks are for. Oof. I have a level up. What do we want to get better at? I actually like Inland Empire. Let's go with that. Tasks. I have yet to find a tape. Oh, you need to go back to the computer. Let's go. I want to see what it does. Oh, I think you gotta have the flashlight back on. It's funny, it actually won't let you go. It literally won't let you. I think it's inventory straight without clicking. Yeah, just press X. Or in this case, square. And tab around to it. Okay, let's go. Is that Emma's Atelier? For the radio computer. Let's go. No.
Yes?
Not you.
The dusty radio computer sleeps on its wired frame. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
I wonder if I need to put it in my hand.
The filament you have would
Okay,
fit
you got it.
perfectly inside the compartment.
Put it in.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Let's pray.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter?
Could be.
Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule?
I don't know.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called. Good. Please repeat the password.
The password? I'm really bad at passwords. Got any hints?
No.
No. Is it my birthday?
Still no.
This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you
Fair enough.
please
I don't know it.
received? I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt.
Oh,
Something
no.
a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why are you calling me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Anything else?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. Any other questions?
He doesn't like it. So, what is this?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
But where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do for
That's all.
Thank you and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
What if you hit print?
Nothing happens.
Fine.
The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Nothing. Something's missing. There's no...
Okay then.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question.
Like he's ready to lay out.
And it's not really important. Looks like a failed
crafted
business.
together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Wow.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little
I mean,
hooked.
curious.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
And that's why it failed.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interinsulary game before. We just don't have the technology.
This was a role-playing.
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Clearly the curse got them.
Ah, yes. The doom of bad business practices.
Indeed.
Okay,
Let's move on. Okay, a little loose ends we gotta wrap up here. Race Enigma. Oh yeah, we need to go back to Everett. Time to go visit Measurehead. What a douche. What if I took off my flashlight while I was in here? What would happen? Just out of curiosity. It would not let you move. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, one more thing.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. With the the acidic stench of rotting food has rubbed off on the cellulose. You know.
It stinks.
The bits they put into public piss bowls. Probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. Your nose does not understand what it did wrong. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
We need to name the case.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well,
titular.
So do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Seem to have a case called the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that. I pray his loved ones never find out.
That's good.
Rail spiked through the head.
Oh,
He died. It was a workplace accident.
is 2 cases a week a good caseload?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I made plenty.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand.
Yeah,
The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
I have a name for the case.
Huh?
What should we call
Oh,
it?
yes, the name. Good. What is it?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually
I don't
what
know,
I was
shit on a
thinking
stick
too.
sounds about more like how
The
this is, though.
Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
I get close enough to the mic. Flex. Let's go.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man.
It's a lot of experience.
It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're
Can
a
I
little further from your nose now.
read them now?
It's proving to
No.
be harder than expected. You just don't have the
Is that one?
intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together.
Need more logic. Okay, next. I'll have to go talk to Dumderhead here. Is that a train? No. River Shoal. That's the flashlight. Zap. News. You collect a tear. We are cleaning up the streets. Some more back here. How much are these worth anyway? Probably not much. Probably not much, I assume. Just a quick run around. We're on our way to the Evart, I swear. We are magnesium powered. As it slowly approaches. I'm not here to play street sweeper. Thought I'd just grab what's right in front of me. Let's go turn it in. Wait. Remember that?
Yes?
No. A lot of bottles just laying around, aren't there? Let's say.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Hard to say. Cop habit. You look, this isn't case related. You think, no. These tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Yeah, worth a shot. Might make it, might not. Need more visual calculus points. Let's go visit the frit. There's another one right there, though. Alco achieve.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine. And do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more.
I'm not impressed. Okay. Is that one of my tasks? It's still Tuesday. Find speed and sniff it. Really? So, does Mignana have anything new?
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Let's talk about those mugs.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Representing antiquated social values.
Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
Anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. The little boy had a good on his promise to get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words, not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
Do you learn anything?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
Fair enough.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like, I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least.
Don't care. What about the legs?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
Gotta find one
Listen,
piece of it.
Valence. Some junior officer.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored too. The one the bullet hits.
True.
Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
No
Yeah.
problem.
The only reason why
If
we
you see
would
that
care
kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank
is
him for showing me
because
the way.
they're likely worth a lot. Let's go. Now let's go talk to Measurehead. I'm gonna feel a lot dumber after talking to him. What? You're the right stuff, Measurehead. No man matches Measurehead. These girls are so dumb. I dream about you all the time. Too bad you can't talk to his little groupies.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
So aren't you with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
But you're all in the same union.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the simony. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. And
It's shit. I just wanted to get in the harbor.
look, babe. The fossilized rock and roll rebel challenges me, a figure of authority. He is trying to reinstate his individualism with swear words taken from rock songs from the last century.
Individualism has really fucked him over, Jean.
Okay.
You could have used this opportunity to overcome your narrow, Al-Ghul ravaged identity. Instead of unlocking the race enigma, you attempted to add to it unsuccessfully. Take solace from the fact that these thoughts will never entirely leave your brain. They will be with you on the day you die. the only germ of heroism in your body. Now go. I have beauty and truth to discuss with my woman.
Damn, Jean, how are you so romantic?
So what about Kim?
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
I like the last one better.
Hmm?
This one's annoying.
That is understandable. The previous racist was probably an Occidental and did not prove a real adversary.
These cops are just jealous, Jean-Luc.
Okay, let's go. We don't need to talk to him at all. Measurehead's amazing. Put all that on top. I don't know. I've probably looked at it before.
Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Wow. It could have been, actually. Looks like I had a lot of fun.
It really, really doesn't.
Let's go. Nope, you can't go that way. Note to self, if I ever make a shipping company, do not call it Wild Pines. It's kind of a nice name for a company. Okay, let's go talk to Idjit. If he has anything new to say. I like him. He's nice.
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greet.
I got nothing. Okay.
Mr. Dubois.
That picture,
every
though.
work, huh?
Is,
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
I did it, it hurts. I made it even shadier.
What?
The brew. The shady brew? I don't know what he's talking
Oh,
about.
how could I forget your little side project? Well done, Harry. Well done. Don't even tell me what it was. But good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this.
I don't know what he's
So
talking
do
about.
I. That's one tasty brew. You should drink some right now, if you can.
I met Joyce.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see.
Of course
I
you
hope
are.
you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Not what it looks like.
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine.
Of course, it doesn't matter. So what happened to Mr. Galmont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company. Why would you let him go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget.
I mean,
no one is.
by
We're
comparison, kind of.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
It's good.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
You didn't mention a casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
So why haven't you let her in to see ya?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way.
I mean, you did.
Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
Sure.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
It's not that weird.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
He likes me.
None taken.
He's full of it.
Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
I've opened the door.
I'm very glad to hear that,
There's a
Harry.
lot.
One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
I may have.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everett's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Let's talk about the mug.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best.
It's amazing
Help
how much we can accomplish when
with
we're
the power of
stumbling around.
politics.
It's because we have quests. We have goals.
Yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this.
Well, if he's a nobody, then why are you so interested in him?
But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry.
People aren't interested in nobodies. Oh, I guess if I hit escape, it just kills the whole conversation. Okay.
That's not how you batten someone. The technique is way off. You strike with your whole body, not just the baton.
No, you gotta put... There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary baton.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
You're like a footrest. Hammock. So, the hanging.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Go on.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
So, if he was an armed mercenary, then where was his arms?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Yes, I get it. He's basically the Wagner Group. But anyway, you seem to know a lot about him.
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
You have an elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
And I get it.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see.
Container.
If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Do they actually move it?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it.
Interesting.
But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
But there's a new problem. Only one of them's dead.
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
I mean, I don't think it was just a straight up murder. Sounds like he was a very bad person.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
Usually not. Dock workers are pretty strong.
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
An entire neighborhood of killers.
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
So who did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
My camera I swear it gets a little bit brighter right before it turns off.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus,
It's a problem to figure out later.
leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Are you? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Yeah, we've met him. You mentioned the lawyer girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself.
The
thinking
gardener.
it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Okay.
How do I know? Let me tell
Mercenaries.
you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
Oh. That's... Just figured out what's making that clicking noise. It's the clock.
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
Oh yeah, their leader is a bit of a big boy. Every second ticks. I did not notice that. So, tell us about Titus.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
Now, I'm not going to say they were wrong in killing the dude, because they might have been exactly right. Give me just a second, I gotta fix a thing on my time card here. Or, it's not a time card, but it kind of is. When did I stop? 12:07 a.m. Okay. Close enough. Let's go.
Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the street.
Separate one from the herd.
Which one don't you like?
Oh, that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's always having noisy stomach troubles. Horrible, revolting guy.
Let's say something happens.
You would die, Harry. You would die, and in the process start a bloody and completely unnecessary war between the Debarders Union and the Citizens Militia. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the Union. You have as much right to arrest him as I have to arrest your partner here.
Well, that's not true. He participated in a murder.
Actually, less. Because this is my hometown, my territory, and my back... Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim, and there's no need for that. We are friends.
Okay, let's talk about the bullet.
So they shot him.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
Well, they lied.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
That's why you use a group, so that your hands are clean. He knows about it though, so that's technically conspiracy. But whatever, this is a game.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
Hold on, just a moment. Be right back.
That's swill in the canteen.
Okay.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
I don't want it.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
Go on.
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And, of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
And what's it for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
It sounds noble.
Roller skating, not drugs, Harry. You like this?
I would like either.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
What is this place?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
Current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Whatever.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist.
Doesn't make you a socialist. So.
Most certainly, Harry.
Nope.
By your means, Harry.
That's all. Let's go. Whatever. Like how auto saves right after, just in case you meant to Alt F4 out. Okay, we leveled up. What do you want to raise? I need some more visual calculus. Rhetoric. What are these dots? What's that? I don't know. Knowledge. We're gonna go with visual calculus. Just for giggles. Now we hearth. Like how we go, nothing left to do here for now.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
And you literally persuade it to open? Is that true? Should put some points in rhetoric. Come back.
Your tent to your left. The lieutenant considers your...
Come back later. There's actually a lot of weird things in this game that you can pull off with the right skill check. Anyway, I'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Journey of soldiers. Good fucking thieves, every last one. Shh. For so many years, I've been to the distillery, was riding back to town, had everything. A pass, a permit, tariffs paid. Those damn soldiers stopped. Said I had to requisition my wealth. With war. So I asked them, please wait.
Stay out of my way.
Long live Radovid! Fuck.
Oh!
In a hurry.
Fuck.
Okay, let's move on. Moving along. Is there any use for the phone?
Payphone.
That'd be a no. Dark liquid pot. What pot? Coffee pot?
Yes?
No. Not you.
The file cabinet stand hundreds, and the same. You already went through the
looked through all
drawers.
this. Let's go. What's your next step? Talk to Titus.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy the windows are clear.
This
Fumes of heavy fuel.
Britta, the racist driver. Balcony, whirling rags. So, can we retry this check?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plot. The tire
Damn.
tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building.
Oh, interesting. Their skill rolls were kind of like D&D in a way. Like your skill just directly adds to the dice roll.
Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
Car drove through the fence, clearly.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
And it was probably connected.
Somehow that makes you feel.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there.
Built later. Let's go talk to the party. This ought to be good. Let's go. Are they still here? Oh yes. Let's talk to her first.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
You the hardy girl?
I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes
Flatter.
speaks louder than words.
It did not work.
She is not amused.
Let's go. Alright, Titus, let's talk.
Looks like the circus left town. but the clowns are still here.
That won't work. Talk to Everett.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
No.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word.
My battery.
Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys, Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Okay, that was nice. Okay. Found a bullet. What do you know about it?
A bullet, you say? That's mighty curious.
Indeed. Mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads. I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Is that a threat? So.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Wow.
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
You don't tell me how to do your... I don't tell you how to do your job. You don't tell me how to do mine.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Wow!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
Did y'all shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
And again, you're threatening me.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
I can waste all the time I want.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there.
What are we supposed to do about this? There's no way you're gonna... You need authority points if you want.
Again, just get the dead guy's autograph.
Thought about it.
Good one.
About fucking time. Again.
What if I just bug them and just keep doing it over and over again?
About fucking time.
White check.
The room is... Get further in there.
What the fuck is this? You wanna fuck with me?
His eyes narrow. His right hand starts tapping a quick little rhythm.
How would this turn out?
His thigh. This guy's tough. Get the eye twitch go. What do you think you're doing? You hear. But his mouth isn't moving. It's the tension in his shoulders. I can do this all night long. His clenched fists say, their knuckles turning white. Do not explain or defend yourself. Attack.
Don't do it.
Probably. I need to be like this to lead them.
The moment ends. With begrudging respect, the man leans back. Time to say something.
Again.
Oh, let's hope it would open up something.
About fuck.
You need to get some authority. I know where my next point's going. We'll try that, see if that works. Anyway, mixtape. What does the clock mean? Oh. I know what it means. It may take a while. Yeah, we're all go down. Nope. Death spell, armor piece, boots. You're not going to get those. Or that. Okay, let's wander a bit. Or let's browse our inventory. What do we got going on here?
In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile.
I think we're done for this day.
The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely.
Are you really reading that, Detective?
I'm looking into it.
Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader.
Okay, let's read it.
The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the Elysium coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home, where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights.
I can't judge.
2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vespa police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description.
Go on.
Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vespa police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence.
What's the matter, Detective?
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Deneuve.
Actually, look at the clock. It's 1707.
Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead. Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder? A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration.
Okay, next.
The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height. And while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own. Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest the way Spillane got did.
What? Throw your stuff together? Okay. You want food or anything? What? Yeah. Eggs and something. Some eggs and hash brown and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I can do the lunchbox. Okay, give me a few minutes. Once we're done with this little segment, I'm going to have to take a little intermission. Let's go.
That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Deanna Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle?
Okay, let's get on with the story.
One evening, Deanna Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips.
Nice. Get it, Mullen.
As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you. I love you." The name of the true killer. Always aim for the center of mass.
I like how everything just chips in here.
Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood.
Double fuck.
Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body. If they haven't been tipped off already, the heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, can you solve the case before the cops close in?
Wait, I've got some questions first.
What is it, Detective?
Why does everyone close to Dick Mullen wind up dead?
It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close.
Everyone's off for half of this. Okay.
What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night? Have you gone over everyone? Is anybody missing?
Why does Dick Mullen become a detective in the first place?
There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective.
Was I not born to be a detective?
For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here. In other words,
it's a book. Why bother solving crimes when the world is so evil?
Is it really so evil, Detective?
Yep, it's pretty fucking evil.
Then why are you still here?
I need to solve this case.
What are you trying to prove exactly? And what will change if you do manage to prove it?
Why, book, are you trying to say I'm trying to prove it?
But then, what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of pulp garbage made to be consumed and discarded.
No more questions.
So, who did it, Detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve?
Politician's twat son.
Could be. Who knows? Only one way to find out.
Let's finish it.
You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes, you find yourself completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast, you don't even notice the ancient spine coming unglued.
Must have a good writer.
You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough.
You failed.
There are dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long.
It required a 20. Wow. Stupid old horse. Now I'll never know.
Too bad, Detective. If it's any consolation, the resolution is almost never very satisfying. And on that note, perhaps we should get back to making sense of our own case?
I'll think about it.
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity.
4/5. Put the book away. Okay, we will come back with more in a little while. But I need to take an intermission and deal with some reality. So have a good while. Goodbye.
Live honest and always speak the truth.